Ooh. So yeah, y'all live on Snapchat. I got a question.
Huh?
You got a question?
You know,
The question is for the culture of blackness. If you got my skin complexion, you look like this chocolate. The culture.
the culture.
The culture. What is going on where they have us looking like the bottom of the barrel, no education, and
You know why? When you go out there and you see the nigga like the one that came over to your car and talk that shit, that's what they look at. That's what they looking at, and they say, see, right? This is what they about. You know, they don't look at other parts of it, 'cause they don't come and see what you're doing and what people doing who are doing something constructive and positive. They want to focus on that because that's a strategy of their dominance. That's how they can keep. If they can keep you looking at yourself like that, all right, then they don't have to worry about fighting you. They'll fight each other. These destroy each other. You know.
So as a culture, what do you as the black man do to change that image?
What I personally do? What I would personally do is I would try to facilitate change in the educational system. You know, I would try to talk to the young kids, try to get the young kids to see it differently. So, you know, because some of the old motherfuckers, it's too late. They're already out there. They're already there. You know, I mean, you might be able to turn some people's heads around if that's what they think is necessary. But like I say, people are, they get stuck and they stay there. It's the kids, the children that need guidance, the children that need to have role models, the children that need to have, you know, people try to develop options for the children.
So,
they're gonna fall right into that shit that these niggas did that used to be children.
So what about all the people who fought in the civil rights movement, who fought for us to be able to have these freedoms that we enjoy today?
What about them?
Why aren't we living up to those standards? Why is it now we're in the culture where this culture is about twerking, it's about selling drugs, it's about doing drugs, it's about everything vulgar, but then you look at other cultures who come over here and they bring their culture and their heritage over here and they're looked at as a higher standard than the people who are already over here. So I'm just wondering, like, what happened over time where we've come where we had civil rights leaders who were very smart, intelligent businessmen. We had Black Wall Street. We had productive businesses to the point of 2024. We own nothing. Our children, dang, our children are just children. We seem like we didn't progress. We actually went backwards as opposed to progression. So what happened to that?
I don't know if I have an answer. If I had a valid answer, I would probably be successful in trying to make some change. But I do what I personally think is that after the civil rights movement, people started taking a lot of stuff for granted and thought they had arrived, right? Mm-hmm. And they became complacent and let their guard down and let other segments of the society come in and fuck with their heads and make them see things differently. You know, you wasn't doing that shit back in like the Panthers and shit. Motherfuckers wasn't. You had to get a little snitch to come in and betray you. Now people got comfortable. Okay, I done made it. You know, I got me a little car, I'm good. No, you're not good because you're not good if you don't have a legacy. You're not good if you can't pass shit down to your generation, your next generations, and have them, keep up your thing. Like back when they had the afros and people was, doing. All of a sudden, now look what you got out there. You got wearing no wigs and twerking and shit. You know, that shit is. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. But like your question, how did we get here? That's what we, and how do we get out of here? Right?
Yes. How do we progress? Because it seems, like I said, we seem like we went backwards instead of forward, but everybody else have come over here and went forward instead of backwards.
What do you think you're going to happen if you go into certain neighborhoods, right? And the mama, the daddies have gone never there or never around. The mama out there twerking and partying. So what are the kids? That's what they see. They're going to be the ones be doing that next, and their kids it's going to continue being generational.
So let's get to the root of that. What caused those things to happen in the community?
Like I said, I think people got comfortable. They got complacent. They became, they just didn't stick to the agenda. They got sidetracked by social media. They got sidetracked about certain shit in rap. It took their mind off of what they're supposed to be doing. What they should be doing. They get in the drugs. Of course, the drugs. The drug epidemic was devastating. That's why I was so taken back by The Wire, right? I mean, because it so explicitly showed the progression from the politicians to the docs, where they was bringing it in to how all that shit rained down on the neighborhood, right? What the politicians did affected the neighborhood. What the people, the rich, the smugglers from the docks did affected the neighborhood, all right? Mm-hmm. They weren't in that shit, The shit floated down into the people, in the neighborhood. And you walk through Baltimore, Baltimore, how did it get like that? How did blocks and blocks and blocks and blocks and blocks?
And beautiful homes, beautiful neighborhoods.
They were brownstones. They were structurally the same as brick. How did they get like that?
I mean, if you walk in some of those houses, because I've been in some of those houses, they're very beautiful homes. So
yeah,
you got to ask yourself.
They were not split up. They were all one home. Right?
So now that's why I say you have to start asking ourselves and asking the elders, because we wasn't there. We just trying to figure out what happened in such a short time. Because you got to think, it's 2024, and in the 50s and 60s, those were nice units.
Yeah.
So from the 40s, 50s, and 60s to now, we got to ask ourselves as a culture.
How did it get like that?
What's going on?
How did the fuck it get like that?
Let's talk about it. Y'all already know you love Snapchat queen. Hey, this table talk. Hey, I'll let you later.
I mean.